marrying into a wealthy family. My best friend Jade crafted herself a saintly persona. Under the guise of saving lives, she destroyed my family. In the end, she married the trust fund baby while I died bearing the stigma of being a venomous schemer. When I reopened my eyes, I found myself back in sophomore year. The beautiful and kind-hearted Jade was urging me to marry a homeless man outside the mall. "Linny, look how pitiful that vagrant is. He's sick with no one to care for him. You should help," Jade insisted, stubbornly pulling me toward the malodorous man covered in festering sores huddled by the wall, the same man she'd recoiled from moments earlier. Clutching her nose, seeing her familiar face again, hatred surged through me. "If you pity him so much, why don't you help him yourself?" Jade bit her lip demurely. "My family's poor. We can't afford to. But you're different, Lynn. If you marry him, your parents would never abandon you both. Last life." She'd brought this vagrant to my doorstep on New Year's Day, spouting platitudes about noble sacrifices until my mother collapsed and spent the holiday hospitalized. Our neighbors' judgmental whispers haunted us for months. My smile twisted slightly at the memory. "If you look down on him too much to help. I understand. People like us were born to struggle." Jade sniffled, tears glistening. I'd heard this refrain daily when buying clothes, ordering takeout, even when outperforming her academically. Now she expected me to cave to guilt-tripping again. Shaking off her grip, I feigned shock. "Jade, even though your parents scavenged trash, you shouldn't degrade yourself like this. Don't you always say a kind heart matters most?" Her face paled. Though she played the impoverished martyr with me, publicly she maintained an affluent image. "You misunderstand, Lynn. I just think you're capable." I stared until she fidgeted, then laughed brightly. "Actually, you're better suited to care for him. Didn't you say I'm cold and can't cook? He needs family warmth more than money." When she gaped speechless, having spent years belittling my domestic skills, I shoved her toward the homeless man and whipped out my phone. "Everyone look. Our campus goddess is helping the underpass vagrant. See how Jade treats all equally. Not like those hypocritical do-gooders." Jade stiffened but forced a beatific smile. "Good deeds are personal cultivation, Lynn. No need to film." Her gentle tone drew admiring murmurs from bystanders. "What upstanding youth! Such a compassionate soul. Basking in praise." She approached the vagrant with my untouched pastry. "Here. It's so cold out." Turning to the crowd, she demurred. "Please. This small act isn't worthy of praise." I kept filming. Jade's so charitable, she even gave away my lunch to show kindness. Before she could argue, I pulled the 1,000 yuan Jade had set aside for clothes from her pocket. "You must want to donate this to our friend here too. Take it, buddy." The homeless man's eyes lit up. He spat on the ground and excitedly counted the money twice. Jade lost her composure, shrieking, "That's my money. How dare you give him my cash?" She seemed torn between snatching it back and avoiding his grime, her face twisting in disgust. A bystander sneered. "So generous with someone else's lunch money, but stingy with your own?" The man protectively tucked the cash deep into his stained waistband, flashing yellowed teeth. "Given me this much, you sweet on me." "Gorgeous." Jade retched and hid behind me. Most recipients would weep with gratitude. But Sky was no ordinary charity case. His family had spoiled their precious heir rotten. Gambling, drinking, womanizing, he'd squandered everything. Driven his wife away. And now harassed women on the streets. My past life's fatal entanglement with this creep taught me his whole sordid history. I pushed Jade forward cheerfully. "Our Jade here wants to save you from yourself." She bolted when Sky leaned closer, screaming, "Keep the money. Stay away." Feigning helplessness, I sighed. "She's just shy around you." Sky rubbed his hands eagerly. "She really likes me? After finals, she insisted we visit you." I whispered. There was only one nearby school, this leech would surely track her down. At the dorm entrance, Sunny shouldered past me. Ugh. Trash blocking the way again. I barred the door. Then stopped looking in mirrors. Who are you calling trash? She spat. You said something's disgusting your eyes. Must be your reflection. She stormed off, slamming the door. Sunny and I fell out freshman year when I caught her scooping handfuls of my $200 face cream. We're roommates. Stop being cheap. Jade had chimed in. You're rich, just buy another jar. Since then, they'd tag-teamed mocking me. My past patience only emboldened them. Once, Sunny borrowed my tuition money during a midnight hospital trip. They watched me panic until I threatened police. Jade finally wailed. Your family's loaded. Let Sunny keep $2,000 as charity. Even after repaying $18,000. Sunny made my life hell. This time, I casually announced after rifling through my things. Oh, just missing $20. But I'm sure none of you would steal, must have been an outsider. They exchanged relieved glances. Maybe someone needy borrowed it. Consider it charity. Jade offered. I waved my phone. The police might disagree. Sunny screamed seeing the 110 on my screen. How could you call the police? I arched my eyebrow and turned to find the RE. But Sunny Huang and Jade White blocked my path, urging me not to make a mountain out of a molehill. Even the students drawn by Sunny's commotion refused to entertain such absurdity. If we don't catch the thief now, none of us will sleep soundly. Someone shouted. The officers arrived swiftly. Sunny grew pale as a ghost during questioning, her guilty conscience bleeding through stammered responses. I never went through her drawers. She blurted. Jade. Back me up. Realizing her slip, she threw Jade a desperate look. Bad move. Jade had perfected the art of self-preservation, already edging toward the exit. Seizing the moment, I interjected. Jade mentioned checking bank statements could trace the stolen cash. The cop nodded approval while Jade exhaled in relief. Someone else wasn't so composed. On my silent count of 3, Sunny collapsed to her knees. Only after dying would I learn her medical emergency masked an unplanned pregnancy. Her deadbeat boyfriend couldn't scrape together $200 for the clinic. So they'd targeted me. I took it. She sobbed, tears streaking her cheeks with Oscar-worthy drama. Just borrowing. I'll pay back every cent. Please don't let them arrest me, I'll die. The waterworks intensified as she spun tales of impoverished parents forcing her into backwoods marriage unless tuition money materialized. Murmurs of sympathy rippled through classmates. Lynn's being petty. A voice sneered. It's just money, she said she'd return it. I marched toward the loudmouth, palm upstretched. Feel generous? Cover her debt then. The girl flushed crimson, retreating into the crowd. Why should I? It's not my problem. Exactly. I snapped. Quit virtue signaling with other people's cash. Hypocrites. Even after multiple staff interventions, Sunny remained prostrate, wailing that she'd kneel until death unless I pardoned her. But cops don't melt for waterworks like impressionable peers. The metallic click of handcuffs shattered her act. As officers led her away, I snagged Jade's retreating sleeve. Funny, Jade warned me about your sticky fingers ages ago. Guess the officers should check your records too. Can't have one bad apple ruining our department's reputation. You lying bitch. Sunny thrashed against her restraints. This was all Jade's idea. She said Lynn's family swims in cash, they'd never miss it. Her profanity-laced tirade echoed until the squad car doors slammed shut. Post-drama. Jade's eyes welled up. Linny. I never said those things. She sniffled. With our audience still eavesdropping, I slung an arm around her shoulders like always. Of course not. You're my best friend, who else knew my family situation? Even when classmates hinted I should watch my back, I played the loyal fool. Jade's so compassionate. I'd gush. She guilt trips me about underprivileged kids every time I shop. Why? Half my allowance funds her charity projects. That $1,000 monthly scholarship for Joyce? All me. By week's end, nicknames circulated, Human ATM and holier than thou hypocrite. My family's wealth bordered on absurd. I lost count of our properties ages ago. College applications sparked parental demands for Ivy League abroad. But I enrolled at the local university to stay near them. Freshman year. Jade became my shadow after helping move dorm boxes. The girl with golden child brother syndrome drank deep from her parents' scorn. Forever coveting my parental calls. I invited her home after overhearing her folks' venom, worthless girl. Graduate fast and earn your dowry. I'd never heard such venomous words before. Furious. I argued with Jade's parents over the phone before dragging Jade White to my place. Curled up on my tiny couch sipping bird's nest soup. Jade tearfully swore to be my best friend for life. My worldly father always found Jade suspicious, warning me repeatedly to watch my back. But I brushed it off until it was too late. Jade had already seduced executives from our rival company, overwhelming my father while feeding information to Sky Chen that led to my kidnapping. Sky Chen, who'd known about my family wealth from the start, demanded $10 million for my release. With company assets frozen, my parents scrambled to liquidate properties. Days blurred together in that freezing culvert beneath Sky's torture until his phone buzzed. My parents had died colliding with a drunk truck driver en route to save me. When Jade suggested working at the campus cafe, I knew her gold-digging scheme had begun. Everyone knew young Sue, the untouchable heartthrob who frequented that spot. Though campus gossip assumed he preferred glamorous types, few knew his taste ran toward maternal, plain-faced women, exactly Jade's brand of bland charm with gentle manners. They became partners in crime. She leveraged his influence to destroy rival socialites while he savored her faux devotion to undermine business competitors. After my death, they absorbed my family company and held a lavish wedding. I'm in. I smiled. She blinked. Linny, you always said college jobs were pointless. You misunderstood. I chirped, steering her toward the classroom spotlight. I meant your bar shifts last semester that made you fail exams were wasteful. Proper work study deserves support. Since her sly comments about me looking down on part-timers, most classmates had turned cold, though I'd only warned about bar dangers. Police confirmed Sunny Huang insisted she only took 10,000, refusing to recant even facing jail. Classmates consoled me, don't worry. They'll make her return it all. I ducked my head, hiding a grin. Sunny did steal 10 grand, the same cash I'd hidden myself. At the detention center, Sunny looked haggard after 3 days. Only you accessed my locker. Hard to believe you're innocent. I feigned sympathy before adding. Unless you find evidence. This sentence sticks. Surveillance clearly showed her and Jade coming and going that day. Sunny's testimony got Jade summoned too. Back in the dorm, I pretended outrage. After all you've done for her, she drags you down. If only someone could control her. Jade's eyes gleamed with calculation. Next day, Sunny's rural parents arrived, beating her while slapping 20,000 into my hand. I graciously dropped charges. As they shoved their bruised daughter into a cab, Sunny screamed, I'd rather jail. Don't make me go home. I gave the final push, thank Jade for calling your folks and begging me to forgive you. The taxi sped toward the outskirts and her forced marriage. Sunny's dirt-poor family had 3 unmarried sons. She'd escaped being sold off young through a sponsor's charity. Last life. After my family's ruin, she'd stolen my phone to lure my parents into Sky's trap before marrying some manager. Now, her parents jumped at this excuse to cash in and marry her off. Let the countryside swallow its Judas. After dealing with Sunny, I felt triumphant. Meanwhile, Sky appeared at the school gate, leering at passing female students while searching for Jade. When campus security finally chased him away after numerous complaints, Jade sent a voice message in the group chat sounding startled. Isn't this Lynn's boyfriend? The message vanished instantly. Stop looking. Lynn wants this kept secret. Followed a retraction notice. Joy showed me screenshots on her cracked phone. The photo revealed Sky with trimmed hair and clean clothes, ordinary except for his shifty eyes. Joy snorted, you're loaded. I don't buy you date this trash. She'd done this before. shielding me when Jade spread rumors last lifetime. Back then, Sky knelt at campus gates begging me not to abandon him. We've known each other forever. She promised to be mine after I divorced my wife and gave her money. But she ghosted me. I'd trembled with rage, denying everything while classmates defended me. Lynn comes from money and attends college. Why would she want some homeless guy? Sky spat on them. Linny loves my stench. She enjoys licking my toes. When security approached, Jade emerged dramatically, scolding me for abandoning my true love. Joy slapped her twice, calling her delusional. Jade tearfully lectured, "Love isn't transactional. You should be grateful Sky accepts you despite." My fingers found the centipede-like scar on my face. Your best friend agrees. Should I leak those nudes? Sky waved his phone, displaying my naked form against dorm room walls. The scandal exploded online, endless variations of gold-digging co-ed scams. Married man. My parents' company stock crashed, allowing Young's family to take advantage. But this time, I was ready. Whispering instructions to Joy, I watched her race to the gates with dollar signs in her eyes. Sky appeared with a megaphone, declaring undying love for Jade. I kept your moldy pastry as a love token. His cringeworthy monologue lasted 30 minutes. Joy shrugged, latest pickup lines. I even gave him my phone, you're reimbursing this. When security approached, Sky played dead, threatening to starve unless Jade appeared. Administrators dragged the trembling girl out. I'll call police, she squeaked. Sky persisted, you fed me, funded me, stole my heart. Joy heckled, you said he was Linny's boyfriend earlier. Jade shoved me forward, but Sky ignored me. Joy had convinced him I was broke while Jade's casual $1,000 gift screamed heiress. My heart belongs only to you, he proclaimed, clutching Jade's arm desperately. While the two sides were still arguing, I received a phone call. Really? Young went to the cafe? I'm coming right now. Jade grew more frantic, throwing $200 bills on the ground. You just want money, don't you? As Sky scrambled to pick up the cash, she turned and fled. When we arrived at the cafe, Young was leaning against the window alone. His chiseled features and custom designer suit made him look every inch the aristocrat under the sunlight. No one could guess the depravity hidden beneath that handsome exterior. I'd once witnessed him obsessively licking his stepmother's wine glass at a banquet. His sickly possessive gaze sent chills down my spine. His eyes lit up the moment he saw Jade. Not surprising, she bore slight resemblance to his stepmother. They'd been flirting intensely for days, each convinced they'd charmed the other. Jade had been hemorrhaging cash, paying Sky $200 daily to stop blocking her path, leaving her practically broke. Normally, she'd have stolen my snacks or raided my closet to sell things. But ever since Joy moved into our dorm, her thefts had failed spectacularly. With my permission, Joy had been dogging her every move, retrieving all previously stolen items until Jade couldn't even find decent clothes to wear. That's how we discovered Jade had been leeching off me completely. She'd even been stealing my underwear. Joy produced several unopened packages, marveling at the $100 price tags. Good thing these are still sealed. I recoiled in disgust. I wouldn't want them back even if they were clean. Joy happily modeled them instead. Your trash is my treasure. Left with only the white dress she wore daily to maintain her pure image, Jade's facade finally crumbled when Young curiously tugged at the fraying sleeve during a breezy day. Up. The sleeve split from wrist to armpit, releasing months of untrimmed underarm hair into the cafe air. The entire coffee shop stared as I burst into laughter. Young's usually composed face froze before he hastily draped his jacket over her shoulders and fled. Jade's newfound armpit hair queen nickname spread like wildfire after someone posted the incident on campus forums. Her temper worsened, leading to constant clashes with Joy. Why do you keep taking my stuff? Your stuff? Joy sneered. Since when did Lynn's belongings become yours? You've been mooching too long. 10 Jades couldn't out-argue Joy. But Young reappeared days later. Outside the lecture hall, we found Jade dramatically shielding a mangy stray dog from security. How can you be so cruel? This is a living creature. She wailed, ignoring the guard's explanations about rabies risks. Linny. You love dogs. I'm giving him to you. I stood far from the snarling, matted creature. Not my problem. Jade cowered beside Young, who immediately played White Knight. Jade's kindness puts some people to shame. He glared at me. The irony was rich, since when did kindness mean forcing disease-ridden strays on others? This déjà vu moment reminded me of my previous life, when she dragged a mad dog into our dorm and guilt-tripped me into rescuing it, leading to bloody bites and scars. Some things never changed. During my countless hospital visits for bandage changes, Young Sue and Jade White stood by my bedside, chastising me for provoking the dog. Do you realize that because you got bitten, the dog has to be euthanized? They made my disfigurement seem less significant than a rabid mutt's life. If you're so compassionate, you should keep it yourself instead of dumping it in the dorm, I retorted. Jade flushed crimson, crouching to stroke the oil-stained stray drooling at her feet. No matter what, I'll never abandon you, she cooed, cradling the mangy creature like a newborn. Don't worry, Young. Even without money or connections, I'll care for it properly. Young snorted through his nostrils, ushering his dog-toting damsel away. Neither noticed the beast's eyes glowing crimson beneath matted fur. Their romance blossomed alongside the adopted stray. They spent every day canoodling at coffee shops, Young frequently groping Jade's rear with shared snickers. After catching my observing gaze too often, Jade warned me to keep my distance like some jealous guard dog. I chuckled. Relax. I'd run from that creep given half a chance. Joy Liang sighed enviously from her bunk. Do rich boys all have armpit hair fetishes? Her lovelorn expression made me shudder. How should I know? My family's practically bankrupt now. When Joy doubted me, I showed her financial headlines about our stock crash. I wanted to fund your tuition, but Jade probably resented me favoring you. She had Young sabotage us. Joy erupted, tackling Jade upon her return. Filthy jealous bitch. Pinning Jade beneath her sneakers, Joy reveled in victory while cementing herself as Jade's nemesis. The dinner invitation came unexpectedly. Jade insisted on treating us to a new sushi place. Joy preened. Better late than never with apologies. Or I'll punch her again. My instincts screamed danger. As our taxi ventured into deserted outskirts, I secretly texted emergency services. Jade led us through maze like alleys to a compound, slamming the gate shut behind us. Enjoy your feast. I grabbed a wooden pole from the wall. Joy followed suit. Sky Chen emerged from shadows, drooling. Two at once? You spoil me. Jade. Stop yapping and get started. I need recording evidence. Jade snapped. Despite our preparations, Sky overpowered us. Joy fought like a wildcat, nearly knocking him unconscious before Jade helped bind her limbs. When my turn came, police sirens pierced the air. I smashed my pole across Sky's skull. Good thing you called cops beforehand. Jade. Sky staggered up, bloody and betrayed. You set me up? His fists rained down until officers intervened, leaving Jade spitting teeth. At the station, she tearfully claimed victimhood under Sky's coercion. I stopped Joy from protesting. Let her gloat. Sky won't forgive this. Jade vanished after release, reportedly moving in with Young. The reckoning came 3 days later. Their adopted stray mauled Young, reportedly severing his manhood. The drama didn't stop there. When Jade's dog attacked someone, she just stood there screaming until Young's pulse nearly faded. His family arrived quickly after the incident. First came the stepmother he'd secretly loved, whose panicked high heel crushed his groin beyond repair. Even the doctors shook their heads. Can't reattach it. 7 days later, Jade returned to campus screaming hoarsely at me, "You knew that dog was dangerous." I arched an eyebrow, feigning innocence. The security guard warned you. But you insisted. Now look what happened to Young. Jade became hysterical, grabbing random students. She did this. Someone back me up. Her madness made everyone recoil. You're the one who forced the dog on him. They retorted. Paling. Jade dropped to her knees. We're best friends. You have to help me. I widened my eyes. If you need assistance, we can brainstorm solutions. No. Only you can help me take care of Young. Seeing her desperation, I smiled. Nobody understood Young's cruelty better than me. In my past life, he'd schemed to bankrupt my family, spreading rumors I slept with hobos, pressuring my parents' company, leaking my whereabouts to Sky during my lowest moment, even causing the truck collision that killed my rescuers. Noticing shadows at the door, I dramatically chastised Jade. How can you badmouth Young after his sacrifice? You should stay by him, even through his moods. Aren't you soulmates? Jade recoiled like electrocuted. Who'd stay with that cripple? He should die. Her remaining curses were muffled by arriving bodyguards. Young's stepmother gave her an icy smile before signaling Jade's removal. During the struggle, I spotted bruises and needle marks beneath Jade's collar. Her existence had become grimmer than I'd imagined. Later, the stepmother invited me for coffee. Thanks to you, I discovered the monster I raised. Having entered Young's life at 5 after his mother's death, she'd treated him as her own until his twisted obsession emerged. My warnings helped her avoid being drugged and gather evidence of his plots against his half-brother. With Young's physical and mental deterioration, their father shifted inheritance to the younger son. My family business had restructured too, making Young's schemes as ineffective as punching cotton. Stock prices rebounded within days. Stripped of power, Young channeled his rage onto Jade. Visiting classmates reported her covered in wounds, constantly guarded. Yet one person could save her. Sky's ongoing trial produced damning recordings of Jade plotting to photograph me and Joy in compromising positions for blackmail. Fake. Jade screamed when the audio played. Joy slapped her repeatedly. Thank my used phone for capturing your plan. Avoiding Young's torture didn't spare Jade from prison. Convicted as Sky's accomplice, she received 8 years, only 2 less than him. With fresh slap marks, Jade raved, I'll get you all after release. Joy knocked out her dentures. Shut up, thief. I smilingly presented footage of Jade stealing my $100,000 designer bag she'd pawned for pennies enough to extend her sentence. Priceless. The paper trail led straight to her. Jade White had Sky Chin purchase large quantities of psychiatric medications to use on young Sue. He's a lunatic. I'd be beaten to death if I didn't drug him. With evidence piled high in Young's system still showing traces of the drugs, both Jade and Sky faced additional poisoning charges. When the trial ended, Jade stared blankly around the courtroom until her bloodshot eyes locked on Lynn. This can't be. You're supposed to be dead. She blinked rapidly, rattling her shackles. You came back. This is revenge, isn't it? It wasn't supposed to end like this. Through the police cruiser window, Lynn mouthed, an eye for an eye. Her sentence would make Lynn's previous suffering look merciful. Back at the dorm, Joyce Leong was packing. I know you let me stay to counter Jade, she said, waving off Lynn's confusion. Sunny Huang's scholarships? That was you too. But I pay my debts, I'll repay every cent after graduation. Lynn pulled her into a hug. The benefactor orders you to stay. Her voice cracked. And, thank you. For believing her when no one else did. 6 months later, Lynn visited the women's penitentiary. Behind bulletproof glass, Jade's chewed fingernails and scarred wrists told their own story. Linny. Please. She pressed against the partition. We were best friends. You have to help me. I did. Lynn smiled. They're giving you exactly what you deserve. Leaning closer, she added, watch your cellmate. Young invested heavily in making your stay memorable. Her screams followed Lynn into the sunlight. Spring blossoms carpeted the path ahead, a future untainted by shadows. This time, Lynn wouldn't look back.